Hello, doing a little video. Sorry, I've got an annoying voice, I know it. But anyway, doing a little video about these JVC's UXG110s. I can't find any more videos out there, so I'm just doing a little speaker test. So, yeah. Start off with, there's been things I've read online about their 6 watt. I don't know what they're talking about, if they're what I'm on about, which is that's their maximum handling capacity together. As a single thing, they're only 3 watt max handling capacity. I don't know if that means that's, the sort of, I don't know if you work that out in decibelish, if that's what's coming out or if that's what's going into them. I don't know. I'm not very clever with these things. All I know is they're loud. Yeah. At the minute they're not connected up, but I've got some Phillips, which I just want to cover something on the front. You'll see why I'm covering the front in a moment. But yeah, they're about the same size. They're a little less spacey. They're a little. They're slightly cheaper. You can tell. They're a bit like the foam on the outside's sort of rough, and then you got the cone isn't quite as smooth. Dust cap don't really matter, does it? But on these, I find the JVCs, that's lovely. That's almost like rubber, as is that foam on the outside. I mean, I play these a lot, and they're always bouncing around the thing. And that foam is as good now as it was when I bought it. Well, when my dad bought it, yonks ago. Yeah, they're a port box. I wouldn't change that for the world. They're absolutely lovely. Yeah. Now we move to the Phillips. They are a ported box. They are ported, but yeah, just round the back there. But it is shit. Usually on a port, air comes out so the speaker can move and bass and noise and stuff comes out and things happen, like an exhaust on a car a bit. On the front of these, there's a fake sort of tweeter thing. I don't know if that's what you call it. My terminology could be wrong. It probably is. And if you remove that, I've discovered there's a hole, like a slightly sort of cut out hole with a sort of dent in the middle, in the perfect centre, and and I thought, well, they're not very bassy, and what do you do if you put a bigger exhaust in a car? You get more noise comes out. So I've drilled that out. You could complain at me if you're all like, oh, speakers are lovely and you shouldn't drill holes in them and things, but do what you like. They're on the floor as well, so that's something you shouldn't do either. But there you go. It's happened and it's done, and that works absolutely perfectly. I mean, they're twice as loud now as they were before. I found they were a really sort of tinny. Yeah, they weren't bassy. They didn't sort of, there was no, when you hear a donk, it didn't sort of carry on for any period of time. It was just like, there's the noise it's made. Whereas these JVCs, they're a lovely soft sound. I can't describe it. You'll have to get the speakers and just hear it for yourself. They're on the JVC CD player, cassette player thing. One little niggle I do have about these. I plug 4 of them up and it deals with it perfectly. It's basically so I can play them quieter to get the same amount of noise. And also I find they work perfectly together. They're lovely. These JVCs are very soft sort of bass, whereas they're, like I say, they're very tinny and hard. So they complement each other lovely. They really do. But like I say, I've got 4 plugged up, and the jacks, even with, well, they work lovely with 2, but I do find with 4 it works, but sometimes you have to sort of fiddle about with them. You have to jiggle it about and wiggle it about and do. But that takes it perfectly lovely. I've never just you don't get any sort of smoke coming from it or anything. So yeah. Anyway, just like I say, just a little speaker test thing. I haven't got the dust cover things, whatever you want to call it, on there. Just wanted to show you. I'm gonna have to jack both of these up at the minute. I've not got them wired up, so I can't play them at the minute. But the other Phillips, they should be working. So anyway, if you want to talk amongst yourselves for a minute, the CD reader on this, after a little while, does become a little floppy. Well, I say floppy, but I mean, you have to really have clean discs. It's not as strong it burns out, I think, after a little while or something. I don't know. I am charging at the minute, that's why I'm very close to the speakers. So we should take these up to a comfortable noise, about sort of 20 something, 22. That's about as most as I ever go. Which you see how they deal with it, and how these little ports that I've dug in deal with it. There's 4 around the side are done. I mean, because on the JVCs you got that big, sizable port at the top, and these little ones down the sides. I didn't realise that. I thought they were like screwed on or something. I didn't know. I didn't know that. I just, And then so I put a little thing down there, and that's actually their little portholes as well. So there you go. So that's now got them as well. Don't quote me on the name of the song. I own none of the rights. Bloody blah. Ooh, shit. So yeah, we're just gonna see how they cope with 24. That the speaker sound of 24 going through them. There you go. And they're quite noisy. They're suitable.
Yes, I got my swagger back. Yes, I got my swagger back.
See that porthole there? If I had some paper or something, I'd show you.
Yes, I got my swagger back.
You can probably hear a rattling, that's the paper. That porthole is working perfectly. In the bass I'm getting from these compared to before is mental. Anyway, that was 24. That was fairly reasonable. I'm going to do this in 3 parts because my phone is telling me that I've got low storage for some reason. I don't know how I've worn 7 gigabytes out, but there you go. Yeah. So if you just search this up, but part 2 and then part 3, that's it. I don't do these like massive episodes like some of them do. We've got 48 parts. There's just 3 parts. This is just talking about them. That was the Phillips speakers. I don't know if you heard what I was shouting about when that song was playing. I was just basically saying that how that porthole at the front, I don't know if that's what you call them, that's what I call them, but the little air hole at the front there, how that does blow out a tremendous amount now. That is absolutely fantastic. That's blowing the piece of paper about mental. You probably, like I say, you probably couldn't hear it or you couldn't see it or something, but yeah, the cone and everything is jumping about more, and the bass coming out of it is brilliant. They're louder than they've ever been. I would suggest you do it. Yeah, you can go on YouTube and there's all these sciencey lot working out what wattage is and all this and how your hole will affect it. Just drill a bleeding hole in it. That'll do. Anyway, Ben Luke, huge erection. Part number 3. I don't know what I've named it yet. I'm going to create a name when I post it. Thank you all. Goodbye.